Do your job.
Yeah, I mean, during the fight, it didn't bother me, you know, as much as I thought it was. I thought it was, you know, it's May, so I figured it'd be a little bit warmer before we came down here. But then, you know, we got down here a week ago, and I was like, man, it's cold, you know. 8, 9 o'clock is when we were going to fight, and it was in the, you know, 60s and 50s. So I thought it was going to be a lot worse, but, you know, I really didn't feel it. It really didn't bother me at all.
No, seeing you, I'm used to seeing you right off the bat start, you know, with a good rhythm. This bout here, you know, it seemed it kind of took you a little bit longer, and I wanted to know, why did it take you a little bit longer?
I don't know. It's just kind of the way the chips fell tonight. But sometimes it's like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like that. And you know, Arthur, to his credit, he came out very, very strong. He came out very strong. He was determined. He didn't want to lose for the 3rd straight time. And so I had to answer him back. You know, he came out strong, and I had to have an answer for it. And then we did have an answer after that 3rd round.
It seemed in the 4th round that he just completely stopped fighting. His punch output dramatically went down. Were you surprised that it dramatically went down the way it did up until the last round?
I mean, yes and no. I figured, you know, I say yes because I figured that eventually he would resort back to being the same Arthur Abraham. But then on the same token, you know, I expected a little bit more from him down the stretch. So yes and no.
Yes and no. And what did you make your power against his power? Because we all knew that he does have heavy hands, but I want to see, did your power make, do you think, an effect on his game plan coming into this bout?
I think so. I think if it didn't, I think he would have just kind of, you know, tried to run over me.
Yeah.
I think I definitely gave him something to think about.
Andre fought a great fight tonight. He went according to plan, and but I don't want to take anything away from Arthur Abraham. I feel content because he was a determined Arthur Abraham. His determination was very evident, and that's the Arthur Abraham we wanted to fight. One that was determined, one that's back was against the wall, and the one that had to win, and one that brought out what I felt was an Andre Ward that had to hold him off because he never quit trying. So all my respect and my hat goes off to Arthur Abraham and the Sauerland. We felt that we were comfortable with breaking even the first 2 to 4 rounds, and then that we would begin to emerge once we made a determination what he wanted to do.
What did you say?
As far as the victory, I think it was a good victory for my progress. You know, Abraham is not only a hard hitter, but he's difficult to fight. You know, he does some awkward things in there. You know, the referee did a good job tonight, but I really felt like he could have let me fight on the inside. That was a major part of our game plan because Arthur Abraham does not like it to the body. Nobody likes it to the body, but he really doesn't like it to the body. You know, I didn't know what kind of fight it was going to be. I didn't know how it was going to look, but he's awkward. He's short, you know, and he's compact. And some of the stuff, you know, he was doing on the inside, you know, made it to where I couldn't really flow like I wanted to, like I mentioned. But that remains to be seen, you know, concerning Johnson and Froch. You know, I think it's inevitable that me and Froch should have a showdown. He's been calling for it. I think, you know, the fans here in the U.S. want it, and the fans in Great Britain want it. So I think that would be an action-packed fight. My goal is to get that WBC belt. I want that green belt, whether it's Glenn Johnson or whether it's Carl Froch. That's a very historical belt, and I've always wanted that belt, as well as defending my WBA belt for the 4th time. And then from there, I think the winner of this tournament should fight Lucien Boutte for the Ring Magazine belt to see who is the best 168-pounder in the world. And I don't think it should be any other way.